President Buhari receives ex-Ethiopian Prime Minister, shares Nigeria's success story in engendering food security, and police warns against holding Odua Nation rally in any part of Lagos. Plus, federal government forges on with its infrastructural strides, commences the $1.2 billion Kano-Kaduna rail project in 2 weeks. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed the conviction that Nigerians are not regretting his administration back-to-land policy, as the focus on agriculture is paying off handsomely. This was while receiving in audience the former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Ato Hailemariam Boshe. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The former Ethiopian Prime Minister Ato Hailemariam Boshe is in Nigeria on the auspices of Alliance for Green Revolution, working to promote the development of agriculture in 16 African countries. He congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari for the achievements attained in Nigeria under his watch, especially in agriculture, saying his organization wants to champion the Nigerian policy at the continental level. The former Prime Minister is of the view that Africa should have a common voice on food self-sufficiency, as it is capable of feeding the globe. He said if anything has to change on the continent, it must start with Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari told the former Ethiopian leader that his administration's back-to-land policy was not only deliberate but most ideal, as petroleum could no longer sustain the country, particularly with fluctuating prices. Today, as the president explained, Nigerians eat what they grow, and the country has stopped importation of many food products. Agriculture, he also said, helps the country to generate employment opportunities for those in need, especially the youth. Already, the president maintains some people are even leaving the offices to go back to the land, and so far, there are no regrets whatsoever. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed formal appreciation to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan for remaining faithful and consistent in supporting Nigeria, particularly in the training of the armed forces personnel. The president stated this while receiving Chairman Joint Chief of Staff of Pakistan, General Nadim Raza. He said Nigeria has benefited a lot from the long-standing military cooperation with Pakistan, as some of his colleagues in the military were also trained in the Asian country. The president therefore expressed Nigeria's appreciation to Pakistan for its continued assistance to the country. The chairman, Pakistani Joint Chief of Staff, General Nadim Raza, who described Nigeria as the most important country in Africa, said Pakistan also learns from and benefits from the existing relationship, which it values so much. Muhammadu Buhari has given approval for the African Continental Secretariat for the African Peer Review Mechanism to commence the process of validation of the country's peer review. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, disclosed this when he received the peer review mission in Nigeria.
Somebody has to take the lead, and I believe after we've been reviewed, all the other countries in West Africa will desire to be reviewed. There's nothing to be afraid of, because we believe collectively we have a responsibility in building a continent that will cater for its people. That's the most fundamental thing, a continent that will cater for its people.
Dr. Abdullah Jaina applauded President Buhari for his support to the program, assuring that the peer review would be carried out in line with international best standards.
We hope other countries in the region will benefit from Nigeria's experience. And, this is a peer review process, so we learn from each other. So the fact that you're doing it now and so on would inspire others, would teach them. So very proud of you, and we thank the President and all of you.
The African Peer Review Mechanism was established by the African Union in 2003 for the adoption of policies, standards and practices that entrench political stability, high economic growth, sustainable development and social integration at the sub-regional levels. As plans for the next year budget begin, At that pace, the National Economic Council has endorsed the 2022-2024 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper, which was presented to it at the emergency meeting of the Council. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity in the Office of the Vice President, Laolu Akonde, says the Council updated its focus on the report of the state's judicial panel set up across the country after last year's NSAS protests. Vice President Emir, who also serves as the chairman of the National Economic Council, urged states where the panels are still sitting to send their interim reports. The United Nations has put together a panel that will review operational standard of digital media, which will be shared with all member states for safe operations and usage of the new media. United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed said this when she was hosted by the Minister of Information and Culture in Abuja. Adebola Bruslin Sunday reports.
The new media, which no doubt has been a blessing to mankind in the area of information dissemination, has also come with its negative impacts, such as hate speech and fake news. Hosting the Deputy UN Scribe, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said fake news and hate speech have been the tools used by enemies of the states who are out to cast aspersions on the achievements of the present administration.
We discovered recently about 476 online publications that are devoted daily to promoting fake news about this administration and about Nigeria. Despite this, the government has continued to make a lot of, progress, be it in railway, be it in roads or roads, rails or bridges.
On the suspension of Twitter in Nigeria, Lai Mohammed said it's for the good of the country.
And that nobody will use this platform to promote insurgency or promote insecurity. And this is the understanding we crave from the international community.
Young people, this is the way they communicate. With every right, there is an obligation. And I think that what we have to do is to better educate. We have to set norms and standards which will allow an enabling environment where communication can happen in a way that does no harm.
For Amina Mohammed, an amicable resolution is key, and the UN is ready to support the ministry in the actualization of its set goals.
We have a platform called Verified because we were alarmed at the hate speech that was going around the world. And maybe we can share with you how we came about putting that framing in place, and the UN here can add to the solutions that you're looking for to balance this equation.
Amina Mohammed, who urged media practitioners to play within the rule, described free media and freedom of speech as the software that explains how people can invest in any country. Adebola Bruslin Sunday, NTA News.
This is Panorama on the network service of the NTA. It's time to take a break. We'll be back shortly.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Many thanks for being there. And to security matters, the Nigerian Army Resource Center is developing the capacity of Army personnel on information communication technology in a view to actualizing the vision of having a professional Nigerian Army capable of accomplishing assigned mission within joint military environment. This was highlighted at the graduation ceremony of officers and soldiers after a 6 weeks intensive internet core and computing course 2, 2021, organized by the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Abuja. In a message, the Acting Chief of Training, Nigerian Army, Major General Abubakar Ndalolo, commended the participants for showing commitment and discipline throughout the course amid equipping themselves with requisite knowledge in basic computing and information and communication technology.
Thanks. Nigeria is moving in the same direction, and it therefore behoves on members of the armed forces to be in tune with this development.
As you graduate today and return to your unit, I also want to enjoin you to be worthy ambassadors of this center in your various units and to make us proud by exhibiting the skills you have learned here.
The living online packages have also aligned us with the etiquette of working online and the concept of cybersecurity.
8 officers and 22 soldiers participated in the digital literacy course. Organizers of the planned Coronation mega rally slated for today, June 3rd, in Lagos must shelve their plan and steer clear of any part of the metropolis. Lagos State Commissioner of Police Hakeem Odumosu stated this while fielding questions from journalists on the proposed rally in Lagos. Musa Toliat completes the report.
Commissioner of Police Hakeem Odumosu said, based on intelligence gathered by the police command, disgruntled elements have perfected plans to infiltrate the ranks of the protesters and cause mayhem during the proposed Yoruba Nation mega rally slated to hold simultaneously in 18 locations across the metropolis.
The State Police Command hereby warns that no rally will be allowed under whatever guise in any part of the state. So the command therefore warns the organizers and their followers against staging the planned rally and stay clear of streets of Lagos.
He hinted that information at the disposal of the police command also revealed that a group led by one Elewiomo, a transport union leader in Oyo State, is also warming up to unleash reprisal attack on Sunday Igboho's group to avenge the death of one of his followers allegedly killed by Igboho's group in Lagos. CP Odumosu therefore warned that the command will not fold its hands and allow a repeat of 2020 violent EndSARS protest, which led to massive destruction of lives and property in Lagos State.
The command will not be cajoled by the so-called organizers that the rally will be peaceful.
You have a right to protest, but the timing is not right.
In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, says the support from the Imo State government contributed largely to the successes recorded in the fight against bandits in the state. He made this known while inaugurating the Operation Search and Flush Joint Headquarters in Imo State.
This is the first visit of the Inspector General of Police to Imo State since assumption of office. He is in the state on the invitation of Governor Hope Uzodimma to inaugurate the Operation Search and Flush Joint Headquarters donated by the state government. Governor Hope Uzodimma, while appreciating the effort of the Imo State Police Command in the return of normalcy to the state, says he is confident that the facility will further boost joint security operations and effort at ensuring protection of lives of citizens.
We procured additional armored personnel carriers and other vehicles, and then we are flagging off an office that will serve as a base, an operational base for the joint operation.
IGP Usman Alkali expresses gratitude to the Imo State government, stressing that the police will reciprocate the gesture.
With this kind of support, with every other governor or executive leader will emulate, I think we will be able to summon the courage to face crime and criminalities in this country.
The IGP, who earlier visited the government house, also presented Governor Hope Uzodimma with an award in appreciation of his support to the Nigerian police force. In Owerri, Bright Ibuchu, NTA News.
And now we're joining our outskirt broadcasting service for the coronation of Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero as the 15th Emir of Kano.
Soko, kai shuru. Your Excellency, we are about to coronate a real prince, a double prince, a school dedicated, loyal, deferential person who, in the uncharacteristic manner of royal princes, is imbued with utmost humility, and he defers to those he knows are his elders and who are constituted authority. Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero is a very dedicated person, and like I said, after his graduation from Bayero University in Kano, where he studied mass communication and political science, he was deployed for his national service to Benue State, where
Hello, this is the Nigerian Television Authority coming to you live from the ancient city of Kano. This afternoon, we are witnessing a historic event, the coronation of the 15th Emir of the ancient kingdom or emirate, that is Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero. Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero is also the 58th ruler since the formation of Kano Kingdom in 999 AD, when the first king of Kano, Bagauda, came from Dora and amalgamated 54 enclaves into one strong kingdom. Also, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero is the 8th post-colonial emir and 4th post-independent. I am Abdullahi Mustafa, welcoming you to the historic event. Thank you for joining us.
Kano, the 15th Emir of Kano under the Fulani Legion, and the 59th since the advent of Emiral authority in Kano in 999 AD. He's a very popular person because during the Darbas that usually characterize the end of festivities of Salah. After the Ramadan fast, there is this tradition that the emir will ride horses along with all the councillors and district heads and other courtiers and so on. They will mount horses and embark upon a daba, go around the city, and during the course of the going around in the daba procession, youth usually greeted the emir, Sekai, Sekai, that you shall be, that you shall be, that you shall be, which prompted the late emir of Kano one time to ask the late Madaki of Kano, Alhaji Abdullahi Sani Sarkiola, during the course of evening courtship and greetings to His Highness the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Ado Bayero, and he asked the Madaki, Madaki, what on earth is Turaki going to be? And my uncle, Alhaji Abdullah Sarkiola, the Madaki of Kano then, was a very jovial person and a very clever person, and he said to the Sarki, the Turaki is a very sportsman enthusiast, and he loves football, so he will become a manager of football. That is what he's going to become. And the Sarki was in a light-hearted mood and wanting to probably crack jokes. As the Ambassador of Kano, Alhaji Dr. Yusuf Maitamasile has informed me.
Already, Vice President Yemi Oshimbajo, in company of Governor Abdullahi Obarganduji of Kano State, has arrived the venue and is leading other dignitaries to witness the historic event. And apart from the Vice President, President Muhammadu Buhari has sent another delegation to witness the coronation of the Emir, who is stepping down the VIP stand to the main stand where the activities are going to hold. The Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, is leading another strong team of ministers, including that of Defense, Major General Bashir Salih Magashi, Water Resources, Sulaiman Hussein Adamu, that of Agriculture, Alhaji Muhammad Sabo Nanono, Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, and Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, as well as Yusuf Buhari, a son to the President, to also join in witnessing the historic event. So this there are a series of activities to hold, or rituals, that is presentation of staff of office, twin spears, knife, bow and arrow, as well as swearing in, which formally confirm Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero as 15th Fulani ruler of Kano. He was appointed Emir on the 9th of March 2020 and became 15th, as we stated earlier, and 58th ruler. You know, Kano had 15 emirs since the Fulani Jihad in 1804. Emir Suleiman started between 1805 and 1819. Then Ibrahim Dabo, that is the grandfather of the present Emir, took over till 1946. That continued through his children, like Emir Usman, Abdullahi Maje Karofi, Bello Tukur, Alu, and Emir Alu was deposed and exiled to Lokoja by the colonial masters upon their conquest of Kano in 1903, and appointed Emir Abbas, who was the first colonial post-colonial emir in Kano. So that makes Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero the 8th post-colonial and 4th post-independent, because Emir Muhammad Inua succeeded late Emir Abdullahi Bayero, who died in 1953, who succeeded Emir Muhammad Sanusi I in 1963 and ruled for 6 months before the ascension to the coveted throne by the present Emir's father, Alhaji Ado Bayero, who ruled between 1963 and 2014, when he died, and succeeded by the immediate past Emir, Malam Muhammadu Sanusi II. And now Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero has arrived the main stand, and any moment from now the major event will take place. So national anthem.
Da limamin Kano a ba su wuri su shigo wannan wuri. A ba limamin Kano da madakin Kano dama su shigo wannan wuri, saboda limamin Kano shi zai rantsar da mai martaba sarki, amma madakin Kano shi ne wata wuka da nama wajen wannan al'amari, bisa ga al'ada ta ɗimbin shekaru na bawa sarki sanda. Saura limamin Kano, saura limamin Kano, a ba limamin Kano dama ya hawo, a ba limamin Kano dama ya hawo. Limamin Kano ya hawo, ga ɗan liminan ma yana hawowa. Limamin Kano ka hawo, Allah ya dade daren limamin Kano, Professor Muhammad Sani Zaharaddin. Shall we please rise for the national anthem? Let us rise for the national anthem. Policeman, national anthem. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. In the name of God, compassionate, merciful, Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, ably represented this morning by the Vice President, Professor Emir Osinbajo San, GCON, as supported by the Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and uncle to the Emir of Kano, Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje Khadim al-Islam, governors from Zamfara, from Jigawa, from Katsina, from Bauchi, from Lagos, from Kogi, from Sokoto, from Zamfara, and apologies to any other governor whom I might have skipped in the protocol. I also wish to acknowledge the fact that the presidential delegation, the Senate President is also here, Professor Dr. Ahmed Lawa, and other officers from the National Assembly, members of the judiciary here present, esteemed and distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, the honorable ministers of defense, General Bashir Salih Magashi, agriculture, Alhaji Muhammad Sabananono, Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Hussein Adamu, aviation, Hadi Sirika, the Excellencies, the Royal Highnesses. The protocol is long, as President Shagari would want to do so, cut all other protocols duly observed. Your Excellencies, 28 years ago, on this very ground, momentously, the governor of northern Nigeria, Sir Kashim Ibrahim, witnessed the administration of oath of office, and he presented staff of office to Alhaji Ado Bayero, then Nigeria's ambassador to Senegal. 28 years hence, 58 years hence, 58 years hence, history is repeating itself, because today, with the distinguished presence of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he is representing Mr. President, and this august galaxy of distinguished personalities, governors, legislators, elders, including the very bosom friend of the late Alhaji Ado Bayero, Alhaji Aminu Al-Hassan Dantata, are witnessing the coronation of Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero as the 15th Emir of Kano. Your Excellencies, it is my honor and privilege to call upon the Waziri of Kano to supplicate for us, to seek guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we do execute this ceremony successfully, inshallah. Alhaji Saadu Shehu Gidan. صلوا على النبي الكريم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الحبيب الشفيع الرؤوف الرحيم المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم انصر بلادنا بلاد نيجيريا. اللهم انصر رئيسها ونائبه وجميع السادات وسائر الأعيان برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم انصر سلطاننا سلطان المسلمين وانصر وزراءه وعلماءه وأساكره إلى يوم الدين. اللهم إنا نسألك الأمن والسلام في ولاية كانو وسائر ولاية نيجيريا أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعل اجتماعنا هذا اجتماعا مرحوما وجعل تفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا شقيا ولا محروما يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Jazakumullah. Your Excellency, the Vice President, ably representing Mr. President on this occasion, esteemed and distinguished Assembly, there will be a recitation now from the Holy Quran from Ustaz Ahmad Sulaiman and Ustaz Aliyu Harazmi Asim. I hope both of them will be very short and precise. Akramakallahu a takaita saboda lokaci ya ja. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد كرمنا بني آدم وحملناهم في البر والبحر. ولقد كرمنا بني آدم وحملناهم في البر والبحر ورزقناهم من الطيبات وفضلناهم على كثير ممن خلقنا تفضيلا. يوم ندعو كل أناس بإمامهم. يوم ندعو كل أناس بإمامهم. يوم ندعو كل أناس بإمامهم. فمن أوتي كتابه بيمينه فأولئك يقرؤون كتابهم ولا يظلمون فتيلا. ومن كان في هذه أعمى فهو في الآخرة أعمى وأضل سبيلا. وإن كادوا ليفتنونك عن الذي أوحينا إليك لتفتري علينا غيره وإذا لاتخذوك خليلا. ولولا أن ثبتناك لقد كدت تركن إليهم شيئا قليلا. إذا لأذقناك ضعف الحياة وضعف الممات ثم لا تجد لك علينا نصيرا. وإن كادوا ليستفزونك من الأرض ليخرجوك منها وإذا لا يلبثون خلافك إلا قليلا سنة من قد أرسلنا قبلك من رسلنا ولا تجد لسنتنا تحويلا ولا تجد لسنتنا تحويلا صدق الله العظيم.
Allahu Akbar, Jazakumullah. Sheikh Ahmed Suleiman, acknowledgement of the presence of the Kebbi State Governor and the Bauchi State Governor and the former Governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, they are here. So also the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, the Oni of Ife, Oba Eniten Ade, Oba of Benin, Oba Eware II, Obi Obanisha, Niameka Alfred Achebe, they are all here to witness this momentous occasion. Ustaz Aliyu Harazmi Asim, is he here? Ustaz Harazmi Asim. Kai sauri da Allah. Minti biyu aka baka wai.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم تر إلى الملأ من بني إسرائيل من بعد موسى إذ قالوا لنبي له ابعث لنا ملكا نقاتل في سبيل الله قال هل عسيتم إن كتب عليكم القتال ألا تقاتلوا قالوا وما لنا ألا نقاتل في سبيل الله وقد أخرجنا من ديارنا وأبنائنا فلما كتب عليهم القتال تولوا إلا قليلا منهم والله عليم بالظالمين. وقال لهم نبيهم إن الله قد بعث لكم طالوت ملكا قالوا أنى يكون له الملك علينا ونحن أحق بالملك منه ولم يؤت سعة من المال قال إن الله اصطفاه عليكم وزاده بسطة في العلم والجسم والله يؤتي ملكه من يشاء والله واسع عليم. صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakumullah. May Allah reward you abundantly. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Emir Oshimbajo's son, GCON, representing Mr. President on this occasion, is now the turn and the chance of the Madaki of Kano, the Chairman Kingmakers Committee, and also Chairman Organizing Committee of this coronation, Alhaji Yusuf Nabahani Ibrahim Chigari, to welcome us all to this occasion. Sir. Gaudi nan, gashi nan. A gaishe ka madaki, a gaishe ka madakin Kano, a gaida madakin Kano, masha Allah.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبي الكريم. His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic, General Muhammadu Buhari, ably represented by Professor Yemi Osibanjo, GCON, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, other Excellencies here present, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Your Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished senators, honorable members, honorable ministers, Honorable Speaker and other members of Kano State House of Assembly, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Today is certainly a remarkable day and a memorable day in the history of our emirate in particular and the state in general. Today all attention is focused on Kano and our new amiable Emir. Indeed, Kano is today a center of attention and focus to all media organizations, including international networks. This, without doubt, is gratifying and a great cause for celebration. Glory be to Almighty Allah for giving us the opportunity to be part of history, which is certainly an event with great significance. As chairman of the organizing committee and also chairman of the Kano Emirate Council Selection Committee, I feel duty bound to express my deep appreciation to all our esteemed guests who honored our invitation and are presently here to rejoice with us despite the inconveniences of traveling out of our comfort zones nowadays. Although our guests deserve special recognition, I must, however, give a special mention to the President, Commander-in-Chief of our dear country, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, who is ably represented by the Vice President, His Excellency Professor Yemi Osibanjo, SAN, GCON. I also find it imperative and necessary to thank our chief host in the person of Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the Governor of Kano State, for the support he provided, without which it would have been difficult to host this event successfully. Jazakallah bil khair. I would also wish to especially mention His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar III, the Shehu of Borno, the Oba of Benin, the Oni of Ife, the Sultan of Damagara, delegation from Niger, Cameroon, Ghana, and indeed all distinguished personalities here present, of which, due to time constraint, I will not be able to mention them individually. I wish to also recognize and appreciate the presence here today of members of the diplomatic corps from UK, South Africa, India, Indonesia, Turkey, Czech Republic, Benin Republic, Ireland, who traveled all the way from Abuja in order to honor our invitation. I pray to Allah the Almighty to grant all of you smooth and easy passage back to your various destinations. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Mai girma madakin Kano ga mutanenmu ya yi godiya ga dukkan shugabanni, musamman mataimakin shugaban ƙasa da ya samu damar zuwa wannan wuri. Mai girma madakin Kano ya yi amfani da wannan dama kan cewar hakika zuwan da aka yi manya-manyan sarakuna, manya-manyan shugabanni, gwamnoni daga ko'ina da kuma waɗanda suka tafi ko daga wurare daban-daban kamar jamhuriyar Nijar, jamhuriyar Kamaru da Ghana da sauransu da jakadun ƙasashen waje da suka zo wannan wuri wanda suke wakiltar alal misali Ingila, Afirka ta Kudu, India, Indonesia, Turkiya, Czech Republic, Republic of Benin, Ireland da sauransu waɗanda suka zo su taya mu wannan al'amari. Godiya ta musamman ga mai girma gwamnan jihar Kano saboda tallafin da ya bayar wajen gudanar da wannan al'amari. Mai alfarma sarkin musulmi ana godiya da sauran waɗanda suka zo musamman sultan na da magaran da saboda halartar wannan al'amari da suka zo suka yi a wannan wuri. Mai girma madakin Kano yana addu'a Ubangiji ya bai da kowa gidansa lafiya. Allah ya sa mu yi wannan taro lafiya mu gama lafiya. Your Excellencies, and esteemed and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Professor Emir, Your Excellency, the Vice President, the Emir of Kano is going to be decorated and then sworn in by the Chief Imam of Kano, Professor Sani Zaharaddin. So I call upon the pleasure of the Madaki of Kano now to rise. It is his own occasion, traditionally, to do this rite on the Emir of Kano, the 15th Fulani Emir, and to be assisted, of course, by the Chief Imam of Kano, Professor Muhammad Sani Zaharaddin, who traditionally is the spiritual head beside with the authority of the Emir of Kano. I acknowledge the presence of the Senate President, Dr. Ahmed Lawa. The rite will be that the Madaki will now sling the Takobin Dabo and the Wukad Dabo and so on the other traditional outlets and regalia. The Kwari, the Baka, the bow and arrow are usually taken to places of worship by the Emir as a symbol of the Islamic institution that Kano Emirate represents. And then beside the Kwarida Baka, there will be the Takobin Dabo, the dynasty of Malam Ibrahim Dabo has continued. So the Quran now is being slung on the shoulders of Sarkin Kano. And then there is the Tagwayam Masu. The Kwari, the Baka, as I said, is the one that is used to go to a praying ground. And Ya Karbu Bakandabo. Ya Karbu Bakandabo. Allah Taya Masa al Qur'ani. And very shortly, abin da aka rataya kwari da baka da kwarin ne aka lakata na ga kaman alkur'ani ne, to gashi ana sa masa malafar dabo. This is a legendary hat that has been worn since 1800s. And it has been going on traditionally, passing from one emir to the other. So these are the regalia. And then there will be the Al-Kabba after the removal of the Malafa, because usually the Al-Kabba being worn by the Madaki now, it's only this time that officially and publicly the hood will be placed on the turban of the Emir of Kano. Allah ta masa Al-Kabba an sa masa koguwa, mai martaba sarki an shiga koguwa, an sa farar Al-Kabba wadda ita ce dama bisa ga al'ada akan yi lokacin da za a naɗa sarki a kwari da baka. Yanzu daga baya kuma za a rataya takobin dabo. To ga takobin dabo, the sword of the legendary Dabon Kano, that will be slung across the shoulders of the Emir on this momentous occasion of his coronation as the 15th Fulani Emir of Kano and the 59th since the advent of Emiral authority in Kano in the year 999 AD, when Bagauda, the Daura prince, came and started instituting traditional leadership in the Emiral authority in Kano. The takobin dabo has been slung around his shoulder. An rataya masa takobin dabo. An rataya sarki takobin dabo. Madaki ya rataya masa, kuma yana kimtsa mai martaba sarki a gaban shamakin Kano. Gashi nan kuma za a ci gaba da wannan al'amari, yana dai har yanzu rike da abin nan, ga kuma wukar dabo. An miƙa masa wukar dabo, ita ce wukar yanka, the knife that signifies the authority and the sword that signifies the authority of the Emir has been presented to him as he is presenting it to the public. Mai martaba sarki, an gama karɓar ainihin dukkan kaya na al'ada waɗanda suke wato su ne kayan al'ada da za a wato rataya mai martaba sarki. Mai girma madakin Kano kuma zai karbi wato ainihin sauran al'amura a bawa rimin Kano. His Excellency the Governor has invited the pleasure of Professor Emir Oshimbajo, His Excellency the Vice President of the Federal Republic, to take this momentous historical picture that will be lafiya. An ce ka fito. A daɗa matsawa a ran sarki ne. To ana ɗaukar hoto na tarihi tsakanin mai girma gwamnan Kano a hannun hagun mai martaba sarki da mai girma mataimakin shugaban ƙasa a hannun dama mai martaba sarki, sannan kuma za a zo ga kuma kawun mai martaba Professor Ibrahim.
We've just witnessed the presentation of all royal regalia that signify the total confirmation of ascension to the throne of the Kano Emirate by Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero as the 15th Emir. All the personal effects of Emir Dabo, the second Fulani Emir, who ruled between 1819 and 1846, have been presented to him. Most of them are unique, that cannot be found in any other emirate or kingdom anywhere else, especially the twin spears that only in Kano, and many people just see it, but they don't know the origin of the twin spears. And according to historical accounts, the Chief Imam of Kano will administer oath of office to the Emir. So we continue afterwards.
To gashi nan an rataya alƙur'ani, shi ma limamin Kano zai faɗi abin da ya kamata mai martaba sarkin Kano Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero a faɗa, wato rantsuwar tabbatar naɗi da kuma kama aiki a masarautar Kano a matsayin sarki na 15 a daular Fulani, kuma sarki na 59 tun lokacin da sarauta ta fara.
The Excellency of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, all other dignitaries here present, all other protocols of the Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are going to start with greeting in Hausa, and I will call upon Emir to repeat after me. Ana da sarki za mu fara wannan rantsuwa yanzu, kuma zan kirawo mai wata masarki ta abin da faɗi don wannan shi ne da kuma ƙur'ani na rana ta mata wanda zai gai shaida cewa ya yi wannan alƙawari a gaban jama'a. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ni Aminu Ado Bayero. Na yi alkawarin yin aiki da gaskiya. Da riƙon amana. Da gwamnatin tarayyar Najeriya. Da jihar Kano. A matsayina na sarkin Kano. Haka kuma zan kiyaye da tsari da abin da dokokin ƙasa suka tanada. Haka kuma zan riƙe jama'ata da adalci da rashin nuna fifiko ba tare da tsoro ko son zuciya ko kiyayya da kowa ba. Allah ya taimake ni.
Allahu Akbar. An gama. A saurara ka saurara yayi masarta a saurara ya isa haka ya isa ku saurara dan Allah ku saurara mai kakaki ba ka saurara duka kowa ya saurara to yanzu za a miƙa sandar girma farar sanda ta sarki mai daraja ta ɗaya ga mai martaba sarkin Kano na 15 daular Fulani Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, wanda mai girma gwamnan Kano Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje zai yi. Gashi nan yana rike da sanda zai miƙa. Ranka da bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the merciful, I am presenting this staff of office to His Royal Highness, the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, as prescribed by law and the tradition of the institution of Kano Emirate Council. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
To an miƙa sarki sanda. Sarki ya karɓi sanda, farar sanda ta alamar sarki mai daraja ta ɗaya a matsayin sarki na 15. Gashi ana ɗaukar hoto na tarihi. He has been presented with a staff of office, and now there is a historical picture being taken by various media organs. And then there is the greeting, shaking of hands and extending pleasantries by the Emir and the governor. To madaki tare da shamakin Kano da ɗarimin Kano sun karbi sun taya mai martaba sarki duk abin da ya kamata a yi na al'ada wajen gudanar da wannan karɓar sanda da aka yi. The Emir delivers his speech now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sallallahu ala nabiyil karim. Mai girma mataimakin shugaban kasar Najeriya wanda yake wakiltar shugaban kasa, masu girma shugaban ma'aikata na gwamnatin tarayya, sakataren gwamnati da ministoci da suka zo tare da mataimakin shugaban kasa, mai girma gwamnan jihar Kano, masu girma ragowar gwamnoni da suka zo domin girmama wannan jiha tamu, waɗanda suke akan aiki da da waɗanda Ubangiji ya nufa sun gama nasu aikin. Shugaba na majalisar dattawa ta ƙasa, manyan sarakunanmu, musamman mai alfarma sarkin musulmi da shehun Borno da Oni of Ife da Oba na Benin da dukkan sauran manyan sarakuna da muke tare da su a wannan waje, malumanmu da dukkan sauran manyan mutane ababen girmamawa a gare ni, wanda lokaci ba zai bar ni da kira su ɗaya bayan ɗaya ba. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatu. Daga Allah maɗaukacin sarki, tsira da aminci su ƙara tabbata ga fiyayyen halitta annabi Muhammadu sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A wannan rana mai ɗimbin tarihi, ya zama wajibi a gare mu mu ƙara gode wa Ubangiji bisa wannan ni'ima da ya yi mana ta gadan magabatanmu, ba don mun fi kowa ba, sai dai domin haka ya so, haka kuma ya yi. Alhamdulillahi, alhamdulillahi, alhamdulillah. Godiya ta musamman ga magabatanmu waɗanda albarkarsu ce ta kawo mu inda muke, bisa tarbiyya da suka yi mana ta karɓar dukkan hukunci da mahalicinmu ya yi, tare da tawali'u da danganta komai gare shi. Albarkacin shimfiɗar alhairi da hidimar da suka yi wa al'umma ce silar kasancewanmu a wannan bigire a yau. Muna addu'a ga Ubangiji ya yafe kurakuransu gaba ɗaya, ya kyautata makwancinsu, ya jaddada musu rahama, ya ci gaba da ba mu albarkacinsu. Haka kuma a wannan rana ya zama wajibi mu gode wa mai girma gwamna Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, wanda Ubangiji ya nufe shi da tabbatar da mu kan halifancin magabatanmu bisa shawarar masu zaben sarki. Muna kuma addu'ar Allah ya ci gaba da ba mu ikon hidimtawa bayansa daidai gwargwado bisa adalci. Kamar kullum muna godewa al'ummar jihar Kano da ma ƙasa baki ɗaya bisa ƙauna da soyayya da addu'a da fatan alhairi da suke yi mana. Malamanmu, jami'an gwamnati, 'yan kasuwa, matasa, mazansu da matansu, muna addu'ar Allah ya fi mu yabawa gare ku. Godiya da fatan alhairi ga shugaban ƙasa President Muhammadu Buhari, da addu'ar Allah ya ba su yin iko bisa amanar da ya ɗora musu wajen kyautata rayuwar al'umma da ci gaban ƙasar mu baki ɗaya. Allah ya nufe su da samun nasara da gamawa lafiya. Muna masu nasiha ga dukkan al'ummar da mu zama masu tsoron Allah. Muna horar da ku jama'a mu sau junanmu, mu girmama na gaba da mu tausayawa na bayanmu, mu ƙara kiyayewa da dukkan dokokin Ubangiji da shari'o'insa da dokokin hukuma, kuma mu yi ta addu'a Allah ya ba wa ƙasarmu lafiya da wadata kamar yadda magabatanmu suka yi ta jaddadawa. Mu zama masu bin tafarki da shugaban halitta Annabi Muhammadu sallallahu alaihi wasallama ya ɗora mu a kai. Yin haka ne kawai zai zama maganin irin ibtila'i da annoba kala-kala da muke fuskanta. Allah ya yi alkawari ba zai canza wa al'umma halin da ta saka kanta a ciki ba, har sai ita al'ummar ta yunkura da canza wa kanta. Ubangiji ya kawo mana sauƙi da yaye mana fitintunu da suka buwaye mu don tsarki da kaɗaitar mulkinsa. Muna ƙara jaddada kira ga al'ummarmu da su zama masu tsoron Allah, masu kiyaye dokokin addininmu, masu kyautata zumunci, masu taimakawa raunana da girmama shugabanni da biyayya ga dokokin ƙasa. A ci gaba da yi wa shugabannin ƙasa addu'ar samun lafiya, zaman lafiya da wanzuwar arziki. Za mu ɗau wannan dama mu tabbatarwa da al'ummar jihar Kano da yardar Allah za su same mu masu jajircewa wajen kulawa da dukkan al'amuransu, musamman wajen kiyaye dukiyarsu da lafiyarsu da mutuncinsu. Za mu zama masu dauriya wajen sauraron su a dukkan lokutan da suka zo da bukata, tare da haƙuri da tausayawa. Za mu zama masu hazaƙa wajen wuce musu gaba wajen kula da haƙƙinsu har sai inda ƙarfinmu ya ƙare. Allah ya shige mana gaba ya zama gatanmu baki ɗaya. Ga waɗanda Ubangiji ya miƙa wa ragamar shugabanci kuma, muna tunatarwa junanmu na alkawari da Allah ya yi cewar zai bi bahasin yadda muka tafiyar da al'amuran waɗanda ya ɗora mana amanarsu a gobe kiyama. Ya Allah ya ba mu ikon kwatanta adalci, gamawa lafiya da saduwa da shi cikin biyayyarsa da muka yi. Abinda ba za mu iya ba, Allah ya iya mana. Muna umartar dukan hakimai da dagatai da masu unguwanni su zama wakilanmu bisa amana, su kiyaye da tarbiyyar 'ya'yanmu, su jajirce wajen tabbatar da ba a wasa da harkar ilimi na islamiyya da na zamani, su tabbatar da cikakkiyar kulawa wajen kula da lafiyar al'umma da bin dokokin masana akan kiwon lafiya, kuma su saka ido wajen harkar tsaro, wajen kulawa da dukkan baƙuwar fuska da sanarwa jami'an tsaro dukkan abin da ba su samu natsuwa da shi ba don ɗaukan mataki da ya dace. Daga ƙarshe, muna kira ga dukkan al'umma na Najeriya baki ɗaya da mu so junanmu, mu kyamaci ƙiyayya da gaba da rashin jituwa da kuma nuna bambancin ƙabilanci, addini ko ɓangaranci. Muna nasihar zumunci tsakanin junanmu da addu'ar Allah ya nufa ƙasarmu ta samu irin ci gaban da ya dace da mu ta hanyar ingantacciyar siyasa, haɓakar tattalin arziki, zamantakewa bisa amana da ƙaunar juna, yadda Najeriya za ta zama tsintsiya maɗaurinki ɗaya. muna godiya maras ƙarewa ga dukkan waɗanda Ubangiji ya nufe su da halartar wannan taro. Yadda aka zo lafiya, Allah ya mayar da dukkan baƙi gidajenmu lafiya. Muna godewa dukkan gwamnoni waɗanda suke a kai da waɗanda suka gama, da dukkan sauran sarakuna da shugabanni na ɓangarori daban-daban da wakilan ƙasashe daban-daban da ɗaya daga cikin iyayenmu abin alfaharinmu Alhaji Aminu Alhassan Ɗantata. Allah ya inganta mana lafiyarsa, mu ci gaba da moriya daga rayuwarsa. Allah ya kare mutuncinmu da addininmu. Allah ya ba mu lafiya da zaman lafiya. Allah ya ba mu damina mai albarka. Malamanmu da iyayenmu da shugabanninmu da suka koma ga Ubangiji, Allah ya jaddada musu rahama. Allah ya ci gaba da ba mu albarkacinsu. Idan wa'adinmu ya yi, Allah ya sa mu cika da imani. Assalamu alaikum.
Allah ya taimaki sarki. Allah ya daɗe da nan sarki. Allah ya ƙara sarki lafiya. Allah ya sa sarki ya yi dogon zamani. Mu daɗe muna cin gajiya daga irin nagarta da jajircewa da aka gada kaka da kakanni. Esteemed and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Emir SAN, GCON, respected members, the Senate President, the Secretary to the Governor of the Federation, the Chief of Staff to the Head of State, governors here present, their Royal Highnesses, the Senate President, we respected the dignitaries, esteemed and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Asaurara dan Allah, Asaurara, His Highness the Emir of Kano, who has just been coronated as the 15th Emir on the Fulani lineage, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, has greeted the assembly and expressed gratitude to Allah for this historic occasion and the favor received from Almighty Allah. He regards it as a divine ordination that they will take on the baton from their forebearers. That is the will of Allah. May Almighty Allah rest the souls in Jannatul Firdausi of all their forebearers whose favor and guidance has led them to this elevated position and station in life. Praying to Allah that we shall reap the benefit of the foundation laid by the forebearers of Gidandabu. Allah ya musu rahama. He also prayed and thanked the Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduji, for his leadership and his wisdom, and prayed to Almighty Allah that he, the Emir of Kano, will receive the benefaction of Almighty Allah so that he serves the people of Kano as diligently as his forebearers have done. He is grateful to his teachers, to his elders, to the general public for the love that has been shown to him and continuous goodwill, praying for the good health and the protection and guidance of Almighty Allah for President Muhammad Buhari, for his stewardship, and expressing gratitude for all the President has been doing to the Emirate Authority, to him, and to Kano. The Emir used the opportunity to admonish the populace that there is need for us to respect constituted authority and respect leadership. He urged each and every member of the society to fear Almighty Allah and follow the guidance of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He also had the opportunity to draw the attention of people in position of authority and leadership to remember that each and every person who has been entrusted with leadership will render account before Almighty Allah at the hereafter. So he asked each and every one of us to fear Allah and follow the guidance of the Holy Prophet. He undertook the covenant with the people to serve people diligently as his old man has done, and also prays that he urges district heads, village heads, and ward heads to pull their socks and re-energize themselves for the journey ahead, which he said is going to be challenging because of the extenuating circumstances in the country. He asked each and every Nigerian to show love to one another, that we need each other, and eschew bitterness, rancor, primordial sentiments, ethnicity, divisiveness, and so on, so that Nigeria shall continue to remain together. And he prays to Almighty Allah for journey mercies to each and everybody who has found time to grace this momentous occasion. My honor now and privilege to call upon Professor Ibrahim Gambari. Before him. Okay. My apology. I stand corrected. His Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, who has been reinventing Kano in one way or the other from 2015 to date. To his credit, he has embarked upon massive infrastructural development in Kano and social reorientation, and ensuring that people pay their dues to the society to belong. The emergence of the Emirates is a typical example of his resolve and his visionary leadership to bring leadership closer to the community at the grassroots level, so that the traditional system will continue to offer the kind of leadership that they have been offering here in Kano for upward of 200 years now, since the jihad of Sheikh Usman Danfodio. My honor and privilege to call upon Khadim al-Islam, the Governor of Kano State, His Excellency Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, to bless this occasion. Sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين توكلت على الله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Your Excellency, Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, ably represented by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, and Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Your Excellency, the Senate President, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and other members of the presidential delegation, the executive governors, my colleagues who are here, including the Governor of Zindar, who is representing the President of the Republic of Niger, Alhaji Muhammad Bazoum, the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, Your Royal Highness, the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, Lamido Kano, Ala Sabbinane, Ala Baidan Risku, Ala Yaution Kimada, Ala Hokke Al Jannah. The Honorable Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who are here with us, members of the National Assembly who are here with us, members of the State Assembly, the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Dr. Nasiru Yusuf Gauna, all the traditional rulers from the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria who are here with us. Some of them have been here for the last 2 days. Members of the State Executive Council, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Chief Judge and the Grand Qadi of Kano State, our respected elder statesman, Alhaji Aminu Al-Hassan Antata, who coincidentally is the only person among us who witnessed a similar occasion 58 years ago when the late Emir of Kano was sworn in and presented with staff of office. Another elder statesman, far away from Borno State, Alhaji Muhammad Indimi, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, peace be upon you all. I am extremely overwhelmed today by this large gathering of people who purposely came from far distance to join us in witnessing yet another coronation of one of the first-class emirs of Kano State, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero. It is a great privilege to welcome you all and thank you for honoring our invitations. I have to thank Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Sir, your presence here has added color and honor to this historic occasion. Today's occasion is indeed a momentous and historic, not only for the people under the Kano Emirate, but for the entire people of Kano State and the northern Nigeria, as we gather to give staff of office to crown the 15th Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, who also doubles as the Chairman, Council of Emirs for Kano State. Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, whose coronation is being witnessed now, was born in the year 1961. His late father, Alhaji Ado Bayero, was the Emir of Kano for over 5 decades and remains the longest serving Emir in the history of Kano State. May his soul rest in perfect peace. The new Emir is the second eldest son of his father. Distinguished guests, it may interest you to know that prior to his appointment as the Emir of Kano, people of Kano fondly called him Saikai. With due apology to our non-Hausa speaking guest, Saikai literally means you must ascend to the throne. And through divine intervention, Almighty God used my humble self to facilitate the ascension of Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero Saikai to the exalted throne of Kano Emirate. Now, Saikai has become a reality during our administration. Ladies and gentlemen, the Emir of Kano Ado Bayero, the Emir of Kano Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero is a man of the people. This explains the reason for exceptional jubilation in Kano by thousands of well-wishers after his appointment as the new Emir of Kano. The new Emir is among the few princes who are down to earth and freely intermingles with ordinary people, irrespective of their social status. These qualities affirmed our conviction that his appointment to the royal position is intended with the wishes and demand of the people of Kano State. Distinguished guests, our administration holds traditional institutions in high esteem. The creation of the new emirates of Gaya, Arai, Bichi, and Rono attested to our practical demonstration of our commitment to the enhancement of dignity and honor to the institution of Kano State traditional system. We believe it is a reliable avenue for current development to the grassroots, and that the people of Kano State are now benefiting tremendously from this creation. Our esteemed guest, it is my belief that a robust and effective traditional institution is central in achieving a secure and peaceful society. Therefore, this forms the basis for our resolve to doing everything within the ambit of law to elevate the traditional institution in Kano State and position it comparatively and competitively amongst other institutions in the world who have embraced new and modern systems. When we introduce community policing scheme, which is a modern policing approach, we assign roles to the emirs, to the district heads, to the village heads, and to the ward heads, and to those stakeholders in the society. Therefore, we succeeded in creating 5-layer community policing structure, which is effectively working in Kano State. I urge our traditional rulers to continue playing their important role in keeping peace and stability in Kano State. On this note, I urge Your Highness to make good use of your noble position to promote peace and unity in your domain and the state at large. I believe with the unique insights, perspectives, and the extensive natural links that Almighty Allah blessed you with, we can reach the promised land, inshallah. As I usually stress in an occasion like this, I plead with Your Highness to do everything possible to distance yourself from anything capable of tarnishing your reversed position and image. I advise that you should remain the father of all Kano people and not allow yourself to be used by self-centered persons. I am to also assure all the emirs in the state that this administration will not relent in its efforts to transform and reposition Kano State for development and peace and stability. I also want to solicit your continued support for our administration to be able to attain its objectives of lifting the state to the next level of development. I'm grateful to all members of the coronation committees for their dedication and efforts that resulted in the success of this historic occasion. I also like to thank other well-meaning individuals who work day and night to ensure the success of this coronation. There is no doubt our names will be written in gold as people who spearheaded the process that rewrote the history of traditional institutions in Kano State. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I have already presented the staff of office and symbol of authority to His Highness, the 15th Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, say Kai. Thank you and God bless. To jama'a assalamu alaikum. Kamar yadda na yi magana da Turanci, zan yi a takaice da Hausa. Idan ma an yadda, an yi da Fulatanci. To jama'a assalamu alaikum. Da farko ina godewa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala da ya kawo mu wannan lokaci a wannan yanayi na ba da sandan girma ga sarkin Kano Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero. Muna godewa shugaban ƙasa Muhammadu Buhari da ya turo mataimakinsa Professor Yemi Osinbajo domin ya halarci wannan babban taro. Babu shakka sarakunan Najeriya sun taimaka mana kwarai da gaske, sun yi mana halarci da halartar wannan babban biki mai tarihi, musamman mai alfarma Sultan na Sokoto da kuma sauran manya-manyan sarakuna na Najeriya. Kamar yadda kuka sani, biki haɗaɗɗe irin wannan, biki mai tarihi irin wannan, lokaci na ƙarshe da aka ga irin wannan biki shine lokacin da aka naɗa marigayi sarkin Kano Ado Bayero a wannan wuri. Babu shakka bukukuwan nan da ake yi, da naɗin sarautar nan da aka yi, da ba da wannan sandan girma ya karɓu ga al'ummar jihar Kano. Shi yasa duk inda ka leƙa a cikin wannan jiha tamu, ko ina yau biki ake yi saboda ba da wannan sanda. Wannan ya nuna cewa wannan sarauta ta karɓu 100% ga al'ummar jihar Kano, ga malamai na jihar Kano, ga matasa na jihar Kano, ga mata na jihar Kano, ga attajirai na jihar Kano, har ma da 'yan uwansa jinin sarauta na jihar Kano. Allah ya taya shi riko. Babu shakka mai martaba sarkin Kano wanda ya rasu Alhaji Ado Bayero ya yi mulki na fiye da shekara 50, kuma wannan mulki nasa an samu ci gaba kwarai da gaske a jihar Kano, an samu zaman lafiya a jihar Kano. Ya yi mulki da gwamnoni na sojoji, ya zo ya yi mulki da gwamnoni na fara hula, ya sake yin mulki da gwamnoni na sojoji, sannan kuma daga 1999 ya ci gaba da mulki da gwamnoni na fara hula. Ba a taɓa samun rigima a tsakanin masarauta da gwamnonin jihar Kano ba. Babu shakka samun cike wannan gurbi sai an ci sa'a, amma an ci sa'a. Ga 'ya'yansa, ga ɗansa ya cike wannan gurbi tun daga hawansa, ya ce sai ya tabbatar da dangantaka mai kyau wacce mahaifinsa ya bari tsakanin masarautar Kano da sauran masarautu na wannan ƙasa tamu. A sakamakon haka, ya ƙudiri niyya ya ziyarci yawancin sarakunan ƙasan nan, ya kai masu girman su har masarautarsu. Shi yasa suka ce su ma sai sun rama. Shi yasa muka sami dukanninsu a wannan jiha tamu. Saboda haka, mai martaba sarki, muna farin ciki da yadda ka kama wannan sarauta, musamman ana taimakawa gwamnati akan fannonin ci gaba na wannan jihar tamu daban-daban. Muna farin ciki da kai, muna alfahari da kai, muna yaba maka ko muna yaba al'ummar jihar Kano. Muna roƙon Allah subhanahu wata'ala ya yi maka jagora, ya taya ka riƙon wannan sarauta ta jihar Kano, kuma Allah ya yi mana jagora ga baki ɗaya. Jama'a assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatu. Mun gode.
The Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, like His Excellency has stated, at the advent of his reign as Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero embarked upon journeys to cement relationships with various traditional institutions across the country. The relationship between Kano and Ile-Ife, and also Kano and Benin, and Kano and Onitsha has been momentous, because the trio have served as a bridge for bringing about peaceful coexistence in the country. The Oni of Ife, Oba Onitan Ade Gosi, has, because of that visit that the Emir has embarked upon, published a book specially capturing the visits to various institutions of traditional institutions, and he has printed hundreds of copies to be distributed to the community in Kano. I am showing it to you to please extend our gratitude to the Oni of Ife. Oba of Benin, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Oba of Benin, Oba Anitan Adeye, Oba Eware the second. Am I right? Oba, I'm getting a little old, you must pardon me. I am the elder brother to the governor of Kano State, I'm sorry to say. So the publication is there and it will be distributed to the people in Kano. So pardon my slips if I slip, because it's due to old age. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Emir Oshimbajo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, GCON, the maternal uncle, or is it grand uncle of the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, is also from the Fulani ruling family in Ilorin. His nephew, currently, Alhaji Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, the Emir of Ilorin. He has been a reliable servant of this country for ages. And he is still not tired of offering this remarkable service to this country. He served as this country's Minister of External Affairs in 1984 to 85, was Director, Institute of International Affairs in Lagos, was Nigeria's ambassador to the United Nations, serving under 5 heads of state as representative of the United Nations, was Under Secretary of United Nations, having worked with a number of secretaries general. His resume is too long for me to recount, and it is my honor and privilege to call upon him to please come and bless this occasion with few remarks.
Professor Gambarisa.
Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osibajo, GCON, SAN. His Excellency, the Distinguished Senate President, Dr. Ahmed Lawan, His Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, as well as Their Excellencies, the Governors of Bauchi, Kogi, Lagos, Jigawa, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, and Katsina States. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Barrister Boss Mustafa, Honorable Ministers of Defense, Aviation, Agriculture and Rural Development, and Water Resources, who are here as members of the Presidential Delegation to the coronation of His Royal Highness, the 15th Emir of Kano, His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, His Royal Highness, the Sheikh of Bornu, His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife, His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty, the Obi of Onitsha. Other traditional rulers here present, the 15th Emir of Kano, His Royal Highness Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Honorable Nasiru Yusuf Gawuna, and other members of the State Executive Council present, members of the Diplomatic Corps present, head of federal government agencies and parastatals, Speaker, Kano House of Assembly, Right Honorable Hamisu Chidari, and other members of the State House of Assembly present, the Grand Kadi of Kano State, Alhaji Tijani Yusuf Usman, and other members of the Kano State Judiciary, the Chief Imam of Kano State, Professor Sani Saradin, and other religious leaders present, captains of industry, especially elder statesmen, Alhaji Aminu Alhassan Dantata, other elder statesmen, including Alhaji Ndimi, Muhammad Ndimi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My task is very, very simple. I'm to read the goodwill message of His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. It reads as follows. His Highness Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, Emir of Kano, Kano Emirate Council, Gidan Rumfa, Kano State. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Congratulatory message on your coronation as the 15th Fulani Emir of Kano. I quote, I wish to extend my deep and wholehearted congratulations to you for your ascension to the throne of your forefathers as the 15th Fulani Emir of Kano from the Sulubawa clan, culminating in a well-deserved installation that have just taken place here on this Saturday, the 3rd of July, 2021. Your coronation and turbaning is providential because it is happening at a time in the history of our country when the prevailing social and political conditions resonate with the ascension to the throne of my friend, your late father, His Highness the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Ado Bayero. May his soul rest in peace. I remember with nostalgia the passion and commitment he always exhibited in the pursuit of any cause in which he believed. A distinguished character that almost cost him his life prematurely on January the 19th, 2020, because of his vociferous stand against the Boko Haram terrorists. I'm confident that you will exhibit such leadership qualities and much more as you have demonstrated in the few months of your emirship. As I continue to pray for your success and look forward to your contribution to uplifting the people of Kano Emirate in particular and the nation in general, I wish to assure you of my support for you to leave a sustainable legacy. Allah ja zamanin sarkin wasalam alaikum salam, President Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now go there. Ma salam.
Mai girma shugaban ƙasa President Muhammadu Buhari GCFR ya aiko da saƙo na taya murna ga mai martaba sarkin Kano Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, kamar yadda kawunsa Professor Ibrahim Gambari ya gabatar. Shugaban ƙasa ya gode wa Allah da ya nuna mana wannan rana wadda ta sa ainihin ɗaya daga cikin 'ya'yan marigayi abokinsa kuma amininsa a wancan zamani Alhaji Ado Bayero, Allah ya masa rahama, ya gaje shi a matsayin sarkin Kano. Shugaban ƙasa ya tuno irin jajircewar mai martaba sarki Alhaji Ado Bayero, Allah ya masa rahama, game da dukkan abin da ya sa a gaba, kan cewa bai taɓa yin wasa ko ɗaukar wani abu lago-lago ba. Saboda haka shugaban ƙasa yana kira kuma yana tabbatar da cewa saboda irin nagarta da aka yaba shi wannan sarki namu na 15 a daular Fulani, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, ya tabbatar da cewa zai ci gaba da tafiya sau da kafa, kuma ji wato ainihin kwaikwayi ko kuwa ya ɗora akan abin da mahaifinsa ya gabatar a cikin wannan masarauta tamu mai albarka ta Kano. Don haka shugaban ƙasa yake yi wa mai martaba sarki fatan alheri. Allah ya ba shi lafiya, Allah ya masa jagora, Allah ya yi riko da hannunsa yadda zai daɗe yana yin aiki na nagarta kamar yadda magabatansa suka yi. Allah ya kai kowa gidansa lafiya. An buƙaci ina godiya ga Alhaji Aliko Dangote da mai girma kakakin majalisar dattijai Dr. Ahmed Lawan, Senate President, haka zalika shugaban ko kuwa sakataren gwamnatin tarayya Mr. Boss Mustapha, haka zalika sakataren gwamnatin mu na nan Kano Usman Alhaji wazirin Gaya, shi ma na murna na taya shi murnar wannan rana gagaruma. Kwanakin baya shi ma aka yi naɗinsa a matsayin wazirin Gaya. Your Excellencies, esteemed and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the august visitor to this occasion, who is representing the head of state, the president of the country, is an able, loyal, diligent, conscientious leader in his own right. Since the advent of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, the Vice President, Professor Emir Osinbajo, has been loyal to the cause of the present administration in terms of whatever strides that the government is doing before itself. We in Kano are very grateful to Professor Emir Osinbajo for identifying with us every now and then that we have cause to request for his pleasure to come and identify with us in our strides, our infrastructural developments, our leadership abilities, and so on. Professor Emir Osinbajo does not hesitate to come to Kano. We thank you very much, sir. And it is our singular honor and privilege to have you today as representative of Mr. President to speak to us on this occasion and bless this momentous occasion of the coronation of the 15th Emir of Kano. Sir.
Thank you very much. The President of the Senate distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawan, and other members of the National Assembly present, our dear host, His Excellency the Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, as well as Their Excellencies the Governors of Bauchi, Kogi, Lagos, Jigawa, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, and Katsina states. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, and other members of the Federal Executive Council present, especially the Ministers of Aviation, Water Resources, Defense, and Agriculture. The Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, His Eminence the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, His Imperial Majesty the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II, His Royal Majesty the Oba of Benin, Oba Ewuare II, His Royal Majesty the Obi of Onitsha, Igwe Alfred Nnemeka Achebe, the Honoree, the 15th Emir of Kano, His Highness Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero. Members of the diplomatic corps present, the heads of federal government agencies and parastatals present, the Speaker, Kano State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Hamisu Chidari, and other members of the State House of Assembly present, the Grand Qadi of Kano State, Alhaji Tijani Yusuf Usman, and other members of the Kano State Judiciary present, the Chief Imam of Kano, Professor Sani Zaradin, and other religious leaders present, captains of industry, especially the elder statesman Alhaji Aminu Alhassan Dantata. Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is for me a very special privilege to be here in this city of a proud history and exquisite culture to represent the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, to witness this historic coronation of Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero as the 15th Emir of Kano. Your Royal Highness, I bring the President's warm felicitations and personal good wishes. Your Excellency, Governor Umar Ganduje, I congratulate you on this day of joy as you midwife a generational change of guards that few experience in their lifetimes or tenures, the swearing in and handing over of the staff of office to the new Emir of Kano in fulfillment of the extant laws and practice of the Emirate Council on the installation of emirs in Kano. Your Royal Highness, I need not say to you that this city of Kano is no ordinary city. In both historical and modern times, Kano has always been revered as a major commercial and economic center in Africa and the melting pot of diverse tribes and cultures assimilated into a robust, vibrant, and cohesive whole. It is only with the tolerance of the culture of Kano, where opposite ideas can coexist peacefully, that you could have a thriving free market economy with several millionaires, and yet also be the base of the radical left of center political ideas. This is, after all, the city of the socialist man of the masses, Malam Aminu Kano, and many of his disciples. And Kano is also the home of the capitalist richest man in Africa, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. Wherever you are from, whoever you are, you must feel at home in Kano. Kano Tubingiwa. And here in Kano, you cannot be better than us from Kano. Kano, Kodame, Kazo Amfika. And if you think you live in a city, then you haven't been to Kano. As incredibly humorous people of Kano will say, Garini Mba, Kano Ba, Dajingala. We're all proud of this city, proud of its legacy of tolerance and warmth, and we're very proud indeed that it remains the home to all and for all Nigerians, regardless of tribe and ethnicity. Your Royal Highness, it is this great city over which God has given you the good fortune of being its monarch, a privilege which you know comes with the obligation of preserving the rich traditions of brotherhood of all tribes and tongues. You inherit not only one of the most revered thrones